When I look at LeBron, he's not what Michael was as a player. He's not even what Kobe Bryant was as a player.
That's a tough one to follow. I mean, that's Danny Ainge's opinion,
Right.
and we all have our opinion. But my problem is more so with LeBron. Is if you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Right.
Scottie Pippen just brought one of basketball's most heated debates back into the spotlight after defending Michael Jordan's legacy and taking a clear shot at LeBron James. His message echoed what many old-school players have believed for years. LeBron never had the same killer mentality that made Jordan so feared. The moment those comments started making the rounds online, NBA fans exploded. Every time Jordan and LeBron are mentioned together, social media turns into a battlefield within minutes, with fans on both sides refusing to back down. What makes Pippen's opinion carry so much weight is that he isn't just another analyst looking for attention. He was Jordan's teammate throughout the Bulls dynasty. He witnessed firsthand what Jordan was like when the cameras weren't rolling. He saw the relentless practices, the nonstop trash talk, the obsession with winning, and the pressure Jordan put on both teammates and opponents. That's why people pay close attention whenever Pippen speaks about mentality. Even those who disagree with him recognize that he experienced that era from the inside. And according to Pippen, there's still a major difference between being a great player and having the killer instinct that defined Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. But statistically, LeBron James is a better basketball player. And here's why. He fills the stats up across the board, night in and night out. You're talking about a kid who can easily average a triple-double if he...
Of course, Pippen's comments instantly reignited the never-ending battle between Jordan fans and LeBron fans. But the reason his words landed so hard is because this debate has never been about statistics alone. LeBron supporters point to his unmatched longevity, the all-time scoring record, elite playmaking, countless finals appearances, and remarkable consistency over more than 2 decades. Jordan supporters counter with 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, a perfect finals record, scoring titles, and the overwhelming dominance he displayed throughout his career. But whenever former players defend Jordan, the conversation almost always comes back to one thing: mentality. They talk about his ruthless competitive edge, his relentless drive to beat anyone standing in his way, regardless of who they were. Here's what often gets overlooked. Many players from that era believe Jordan inspired more than respect. He inspired fear. Opponents stepped onto the court already mentally drained because they knew he wanted to outplay them and embarrass them at the same time. For years, we've heard stories about Jordan creating personal rivalries in his own mind just to keep himself motivated. Former teammates have even said practices felt tougher than real games because he refused to let anyone take a single possession lightly. That mindset became a huge part of Jordan's legacy. It turned every game into a psychological battle. So when Pippen says LeBron never had that same killer instinct, what he's really arguing is that LeBron reached greatness through a completely different mindset.
Put him number one is because there was too many times earlier in his career where he didn't have that assassin's mentality.
Sure.
We look at Jordan and we look, first of all, he's 6-0 in NBA finals. You never looked at MJ and said in a championship series, he didn't.
This is where the debate becomes genuinely interesting instead of just another round of fan arguments, because LeBron's leadership style has always been very different from Jordan's. LeBron is known for building confidence in his teammates. He values chemistry, keeps everyone involved, and isn't afraid to trust role players in the biggest moments. Jordan, on the other hand, led with relentless pressure. Countless stories describe how he pushed teammates to their limits and demanded excellence every single day. Some players admired that approach, others struggled with it, but everyone felt its intensity. That competitive edge became one of the defining parts of his legacy. At the same time, this is where the conversation gets complicated. Killer mentality is one of the hardest qualities to measure. Many fans think it simply means hitting clutch shots or yelling at teammates, but it's much deeper than that. LeBron has delivered game-winning moments, dominated elimination games, and handled enormous pressure since entering the league as a teenager. That takes incredible mental toughness as well. The difference is that many former players define killer instinct in another way. To them, it's about overwhelming opponents, breaking their confidence, and making them believe they have no chance of winning. That's the mindset they believe Jordan mastered throughout his career. Pippen's comments also drew even more attention because of their timing. His relationship with Jordan has been viewed as complicated for years. After The Last Dance was released, Pippen publicly criticized Jordan and the documentary, leading many fans to believe their legendary partnership had been permanently damaged. So hearing Pippen defend Jordan again while questioning LeBron's mentality caught many people off guard, making his remarks even more surprising.
What's it like to guard Mike? Mike? You mean Black Jesus? The level of fear that he inspired in others was insane.
Who'd you enjoy talking smack to?
Everybody.
Was there anybody that you kind of avoided talking smack to because if you did, your spirit got bigger and they wanted to beat you, or?
Michael Jordan. You don't want to.
This is where many younger fans often see the debate differently. They tend to view the GOAT conversation as being entirely about talent, while many older players believe it's also about presence and the aura a player brings to the game. Jordan's legacy is built on moments that became bigger than basketball itself. The flu game, the famous shrug, the relentless trash talk, the championship-winning shot in Utah, the stories of pushing teammates to their limits in practice, the gambling rumors, and the iconic image of him celebrating with a cigar. Together, those moments created the image of a player who seemed almost unstoppable. LeBron's journey unfolded in a completely different era. He entered the NBA with enormous expectations, perhaps more than any player before him, but he also played under the constant spotlight of social media, where every finals loss was instantly dissected and turned into endless debate. Jordan's legend had far more time to grow before that kind of non-stop scrutiny existed. That doesn't mean LeBron lacked competitiveness. In fact, that's where the discussion can become unfair. No one reaches LeBron's level without an extraordinary obsession with winning. You don't dominate the league for more than 2 decades without elite discipline, relentless preparation, and an incredible commitment to your craft. Former teammates have consistently praised his basketball IQ, work ethic, and dedication to maintaining his body. The real difference is in how their competitiveness was expressed. Jordan's approach often came across as emotionally relentless and intimidating. LeBron's style has been more calculated, collaborative, and focused on making the right basketball play. One projected the image of a relentless predator, while the other operated like a master strategist. And for many from the older generation, Jordan's style simply feels more intimidating, which is why they continue to value it so highly.
You can't ask me who's the GOAT between LeBron and Michael. Neither one of them are GOATs. They both won differently. You can't put them at the top of the pinnacle. Magic Johnson, to me, is a bigger GOAT than any.
Pippen likely understood exactly what would happen the moment he questioned LeBron's mentality. Within minutes, social media turned into a full-scale battle. Jordan supporters flooded timelines with finals records, championship highlights, and clips of MJ intimidating opponents. LeBron fans responded with career milestones, unmatched longevity, and reminders that he won championships against historic competition, while carrying enormous expectations for more than 2 decades. Then, as always, Kobe Bryant's name entered the conversation. Whenever people talk about killer instinct, Kobe is almost impossible to leave out. Many fans argue that his mentality mirrored Jordan's more closely than LeBron's, adding yet another layer to an already endless debate. But here's what often gets overlooked. The argument over killer mentality becomes so emotional because people connect it with toughness and masculinity. Many assume the louder, more confrontational competitor is automatically the mentally stronger one. That's why Jordan and Kobe are constantly praised for their intensity. Yet NBA history proves there are different ways to dominate. Magic Johnson led with confidence and joy. Tim Duncan barely showed emotion and still became one of the greatest winners ever. Stephen Curry transformed the game without trying to intimidate everyone around him. Greatness doesn't come in one personality type. Still, Jordan's style remains uniquely captivating because it feels almost cinematic. Every story sounds larger than life. The tales of him taking everything personally, staying fueled by imagined slights, pushing teammates relentlessly in practice, and refusing to accept defeat became just as famous as his accomplishments on the court. Those stories built an image that went far beyond statistics. And Scottie Pippen witnessed that version of Jordan every day. That's why his opinion still carries so much weight. He experienced Jordan's competitive mindset from the inside, and that perspective is difficult to dismiss. At the same time, many believe the killer mentality argument unfairly minimizes what LeBron has achieved. If he truly lacked that mentality, how did he dominate the NBA for more than 20 years? How did he lead the historic comeback from a 3-1 deficit against a 73-win Warriors team? How did he guide multiple franchises to championships while facing relentless media scrutiny throughout his career? Those accomplishments also require extraordinary mental strength, even if it looks different from Jordan's approach. LeBron's career is constantly judged against Jordan's. When he breaks records, critics mention finals losses. When he wins, they question his killer instinct. Meanwhile, Jordan's legacy has only grown over time, making comparison even tougher. That's why Pippen's comments sparked so much attention. In the end, the GOAT debate comes down to what people value more, Jordan's ruthless mentality or LeBron's longevity and versatility. And that's a debate that may never truly end.